Greetings. I welcome you back as we endeavor to go deeper into moments of reflection. I am your host, Dr. Derek A. Reeves, and again, I thank you for joining me. Today, I want to discuss something that is quite prevalent and sometimes misunderstood by Christians. And I want to take a look at the scripture, 2 Peter 1 and 4. The scripture says, whereby are given unto us exceeding great and precious promises, that by these ye might be partakers of the divine nature, having escaped the corruption that is in the world through lust. Here, when we talk about the thing that I want to focus on, we have to be very careful in understanding what is meant by the term nature. When we look in the Latin text, the term nature is natura. Natura then means that which comes through your native birth, or that which comes at the inception or the origin of the thing. And so it includes the conglomeration of all that an individual is, all that they have, and all of the substantial or essential makeup that causes them to be who and what they are. But when we look at the text in Scripture, it is the term Phusis. And Phusis then is a very interesting word, because the term Phusis indicates that something has a beginning. Phusis then deals with the growth by germination or by expansion, and therefore it really depends on the seed. And so according to the Greek understanding of the term Phusis referred to the seed from which a thing spread. And that's what it means by the germination. And so it indicates then the natural process by which the seed planted became or induced to become the thing that it is. So basically, the nature of a thing is embedded within the seed, and the seed of that thing contains all that will eventually flow through that thing and become the thing's objectivity of its design. And so when we talk about nature, then we can discuss nature as all of existence. Therefore, the nature of existence, or the universe, is programmed by the seed of God's creative word. In the beginning was the Word was with God, the Word was God, the same in the beginning with God, and all things that were made by him, and there was not anything that was made that was not made by him. And so then the nature of the universe is that it is ever expanding to fulfill the will of God, even at the quantum stream of existence, or the quantum level of those field of quantum energy. All of existence then is fulfilling the will and the mandate of God. We may not understand why the universe is constructed, but according to the seed theory, then everything that we know has a purpose, and everything we know has the divine spark and the divine creation to it to perform a specificity of God's will. Now, when we get back to human nature then also is comprised of the seed. Everything that the human becomes is deposited in the seed. Of course, we understand genetics. We understand there's an ovum and there is a spermatozoon, and these two things come together. And I would like to say then that the seed of the woman is her egg and her potentiality to help loan to the nature of that which she bears. But without a catalyst, without that living seed of man, there can be no human born except by divine intervention. And God did that only once, where he begot Jesus as the Son of God, who is Emmanuel, God revealed in flesh. And so the human nature then deals by that which comes through a lineal descent, by extension, a genus or a sort or a kind. It deals with everything that is within that thing to make that thing become. And so what happens when God first breathed into Adam, creating him out of the dust or the afar of the ground, he breathes into his nostrils the breath of life. And this term life can be used in many occasions as a plurality, and so it indicates the breath of lives. It is believed that this breath, then, this exertion from God, this neshama kahi, this breath then brought forth an awakening of the design in which God had formed of the dust. Every system was there by the protocols of the creative word. God speaks. Remember, he has no hands. He has no need of hands. If he can think and speak, and things become. And so he speaks. He forms out of the dust of the ground the man. And he breathes into that form, ketser, that form where God now molds and shapes. He breathes into it, and that breath becomes the catalyst of the living soul. And so the seed then that intermingled with the physiology and the determination of the word, man becomes a living soul, an expression of the divine Spirit of God encased in a physical body. And so human nature then, man is not a spirit, but he is a living soul. Remember, God is spirit with soulish capacity. And what I mean by capacity, I'm simply meaning that he reveals himself in soulish ways. He has mind, he has emotion, he has a will. Man is a living soul that now must integrate himself with the Spirit of God, that he might reveal through his mind the spirituality of God. And so when we look at reflections or we look at images, there are always things that we have to understand about the image. The image of a thing, although we see it, it's always backwards. And so it is the alternative reality to the real. And so man, as being in the living image and likeness, the selimic demuth of God, man now is the flip version of what God is. God is a material spirit. Man is materialized soulish capacity with the ability to be spiritual. And so human nature, Phusis, this then deals with the body, deals with the soul, deals with the spirit, and it also deals with all of the life forces that are incorporated within the man. Life force, from my perspective, and again, this is just a reflection, life force then starts off with the Zoe, which brought the eternality of the soul. Anything that extends from God is eternal. Anything that extends from God can bring forth life, blessedness, and so forth. And so it is the Zoe, it is the Bios, where we get the biological functions, it is the Anima, which causes the body to be lively, to move, causes the mind to be able to think. And then there is what I call the qualitative life, which is the life of conformity to genderization, the life of conformity that generally conforms to the physiology, all of those systems that make something masculine, feminine, then it is exerted in the way that individual influences, manifests, and reveals their being, their mind, and who and what they are, their individuality. We're running out of time, and I just want to thank you for being with us. I am your host, Dr. Derek A. Reeves, and this is Moments of Reflection. Have a good day. God bless you, and Jesus still reigns.